Sorry, I think
Progress.
it ties in nicely actually with the previous topic. I hope you can all see my screen. Does that work?
Working well, thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so my paper presentation builds on a talk that I curated at the National Gallery X last year, which is focusing on media, art, and gender. And for those of you who don't know it, Art in Flux, we've been around for 5 years, is a media arts platform by artists for artists. After Shannon and Maria Almena and myself, we founded Art in Flux in 2016, and we've been providing a platform for media artists ever since. And over the last year, we've incorporated ourselves, and we focused more and more on underrepresented groups in the media arts, including LGBTQIA artists. And gender tag is part of this endeavor to give more of a voice and more of a platform and more visibility to non-binary and queer artists and voices. And so my own practice is also situated within this context. I've been long focusing on gender and identity across various different media, from photography to film to neuro art, and I'll be talking a little bit about this today. So the background to this talk, as you all know, there is still a glaring mismatch between the creative practice and artistic representation, not just in the media arts, but in the arts, and that encompasses representation of women. The majority of women are actually, the majority of artists are women, but 78% of the galleries, so the vast majority of galleries represent more men than women. And there continues to be issues about representation of gender, although there has been a lot of change actually over the last year, specifically in the UK. So a lot of the major institutions, cultural institutions, have started to focus on the theme of gender, including in the context of media arts. There was the Kiss My Genders exhibition at the Hayward Gallery. The Science Gallery had the Genders Shaping and Breaking the Binary exhibition. The Masculinities exhibition at the Barbican was on last year. And all of that was preceded by Irini Papadimitriou's Technology is Not Neutral exhibition, which was focusing specifically on women in tech. And so while this is brilliant, there are still issues with representation of gender and specifically LGBTQIA artists. And there's a recent PhD thesis by Alana Shu that is focusing on this idea that a lot of the representation of LGBTQIA artists is either over-sexualized or includes this notion of tragedy, and that only slowly these stereotypes are changing. And with Art in Flux, we wanted to be part of this renewed focus to give queer and LGBTQIA artists their own voice. And so part of the talk of gender tag and also my paper was to literally let these artists speak for themselves through their practice. And today I'll be talking about some of these artists and their work. The first artist is Peju Letitia, who is a Nigerian artist. Peju is an interdisciplinary artist, an architect, also an author of 2 novels. She has won the F&B Art Prize in Johannesburg and was exhibiting at the 57th Venice Biennial as the very first Nigerian artist to present there. And this is actually the artwork that she presented at the Venice Biennial, which is called Flying Girls. And Flying Girls talks about the persistent problem of child brides in Nigeria, and also the glaring discrimination of women in Nigerian law and politics. And Peju is actually currently presenting at this year's Architecture Biennial in Venice. So if you get a chance to see her work, it's absolutely fantastic. The next artist that we gave a platform is Ro Greengrass and Maddie James. Their film Down There, The Seafolk Live, is a fantastic film about gender transition and singing voices. And we also featured this film at our Reclaimed exhibition, which I'll be talking about a little bit later. This documentary echoes the metaphor of Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, in which the Little Mermaid sacrifices her voice for the gift of transformation. The film is very poetic, very beautifully lyrically told, And I will just show a couple of snippets from the trailer now. Hopefully with voice this time. Hopefully you can hear this as well.
Do you want me to say anything in particular? I'm glad I was the one who loved you so you could call me up and drive me home.
Yeah, so the idea with Gender Tech was to provide young artists as much as established artists a platform. And this is a young and upcoming artist, James Naismith. He's part of the wider Flex family and just graduated from the University of the Arts London. And this artwork, The Dark Room, is a photo booth designed for queer spaces. And that is profiling and celebrating queer aesthetics, queer identity, and queer bodies. Yeah, fantastic, controversial piece. Brigitte Roussier is a time-based media artist. She's professor for the moving image at the University of the Creative Arts and director of the Animation Research Center. And Birgitte's practice is very much situated between experimental animation, between drawing and performance art, with the idea of the medium being central to her work. And so she's working a lot with the theme of presence. And these are three of her pieces that she presented alongside a bit of an overview of her inspirations in queer theory and gender theory. And yeah, so her talk alongside the others, they're all on our website, International Gallery's website. The artist Drusilla Burrell is created this new series of work during lockdown. And with these works that were created together with her partner, Magdalene Celeste, she is looking at representations of power and gender, specifically taking her cues from the National Gallery's collection. And Drusilla is now the artist in residence at the National Gallery X. So I'm excited to see her new work that that will come out of this residency as part of this Studio Rococo that she founded together with her partner. And the artist Jake Alves is exploring new patterns of beauty through machine learning algorithms. He's interested in notion aesthetics that reach beyond gender restrictions and algorithmic confinement. So Jake is a research-based artist, and his art practice is really looking at the underlying principles of machine learning and AI. And so this artwork, Queering the Dataset, is being featured tonight at the gallery launch at the Gazzelli Art House. So if you have the chance to go, I would very much encourage you. It's a fantastic artwork that is using queer representations, queer identities, queer bodies as an underlying data set to create new forms of aesthetics. And I can just show a couple of snippets of this piece, 30 seconds of this incredible artwork. So yeah, Jake's practice looks at machine learning, artificial intelligence, explores the code and specifically the philosophy and ethics behind it. And the artist Paul Kindersley presented 3 of his feature films, who has recently shown his work as part of the Kiss My Genders exhibition. And here I'm just going to show a short trailer of his most recent film, The Burning Baby, which he also presented at the National Gallery X.
very sensitive at this party.
That was living it for ages, and then it was always been us four, and then baby came.
So Paul is influenced by compositions, colors that he's finding at the National Portrait Gallery or the National Gallery. And yeah, this is his last feature film that he created. So yeah, some of these artworks are also featured at the Reclaimed exhibition. And the Reclaimed exhibition is continuing the theme of representation of underrepresented groups, featuring LGBTQIA artists as well as neurodiverse artists, artists from various cultural backgrounds, and also women in tech and neurodiverse artists. So there's two artists that I wanted to quickly present. Enrique Agudo is the creative director behind the Pantheon of Queer Mythology, which is this film, a virtual reality short film that was presented at the Tribeca Film Festival. Enrique is part of the faculty of Southern California's Institute of Architecture, SciArc. And this particular artwork is talking about persisting problems in the queer community in Western societies, including body dysmorphia, internalized misogyny, homophobia, but also the pervasiveness of transphobia in the queer community. It's a fantastic film and already won multiple awards. And yeah, we're excited to feature it as part of the Reclaimed exhibition. And the artist Daniel Brathwaite-Charlie is one of the shooting stars of the contemporary media art scene. This is a serious game that she developed with a group of Black trans people. And it's a testament of appreciation of their experiences, their lives. And yeah, really talks about what it feels like to be living a Black trans life today. So yeah, this piece together with Shama and my work, so Shama Rahman and my own artwork, Brainfuck, they're all part of the Reclaimed exhibition that was curated by Afroshamsa Maria Almena and myself to provide a forum for underrepresented groups. And yeah, Brainfuck, maybe very briefly, is also shown at the other art fair, which is launching today. And it's a neuro art piece that is making use of a 3D body scan of my own body using Mushroom technology. It's an open source technology that you can use to do body scans. And the sculpture is then deformed using a brainwave algorithm that Shama defined during her doctorate at the Imperial College. And so we're using this idea of stimulation, sensory stimulation, to transform this body mesh. And yeah, so the exhibition itself was online up until yesterday and will be featured as part of the Ars Electronica Festival in September. So I would love to encourage you to see it. And just to summarize quickly, I know I'm running against time, is that underrepresented groups have always been part of the canon of the media arts, from all the way back from Marcel Duchamp to Andy Warhol to Valley Export. And they are obviously today as much in the grassroots as well as our most notable voices, Juliana Huxtable or Hito Steyer. But there's still quite a long way to go in order to assure that we have visibility and that our voices are really heard equally. And Art in Flux very much wants to be part of this effort. So yeah, with Art in Flux, we're continuing to feature underrepresented groups and underrepresented voices and practices. And I would love to invite you all to our Art in Flux social, which is happening tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock as part of the EVA conference. And yeah, that's me. I know I was running a bit against time. Sorry for this.
Oliver, thank you very much. And on the contrary, in fact, you've actually made up time. So we're now finishing very slightly.